So I'm going to show you, this is a part of a briefing we did for some change management activity that was going on at MRDEC. And the details of the change are not important. I just wanted you to see some of the things we were dealing with. So saying an organizational change is like death is a little extreme, but people don't like change. The reaction to change follows this pattern where we're hopeful, then we become depressed about it, then we finally get some little motivation about it. So you go through this death spiral when you're talking about change. The way change process is handled determines on the steepness or severity of the employee reaction. The way the change process is handled can help the organization be more motivated, but if you do it wrong, we're going to mess it up. That was the main point. And when you start looking at groups, management tends to have a little bigger reaction than maybe the other staff might have. Management was the hardest group to actually get to change. These are the guys supposed to be leading the change, right? So it's not change. Not to change is a bad idea. It just goes against everything we know to be true. In other words, you broke your end of the deal. I joined your group to go do this. This is the way it was all set up, and now you're coming in and changing things on me. That's the attitude that you're going to run into. Some of the top issues in employee resistance to change: lack of trust, lack of insight, lack of credibility, lack of belief. You got a lot of people out there that say, I don't understand it, I don't know it, I don't like it. That's what they're telling you. In a psychological contract, you got a lack of employee support, and things are fine the way they are. Well, no, they're not, or else we'd be making money instead of losing money. But you have people in an organization that's actually losing money, they'll say, we really don't need to change anything, everything's fine, we just need to work harder. And that's not true. Communications, rumors are usually worse than reality, which is absolute truth. Management is keeping secrets, don't trust them. Employees don't understand why we need to change. Remember what Tom was talking about the other day. Need to make people understand why this is important for us to go do. Timelines, there's deadlines for reporting. How fast is it going to happen? In other words, what are you going to do to me? And contractors make up a portion of the workforce. They have some of the same issues. So even if you have contract labor in there, change still affects their attitude, even though they're just supposed to do what you tell them to go do, right? So the idea of well, they're just 40% of our workforce is contract. We don't need to pay attention to them. Doesn't really work. Remember, John Shook was here, and he was talking about lean and implementation of lean, right? These are his slides. Lean will work anywhere, but a lot of companies have tried. Not many companies have been successful. In fact, probably aren't. Why? Why did the change initiatives fail? What are the success factors? What are the failure modes? Came back and said, this is what we need to understand. First, they don't know what to do. They don't want to change. They don't know what it is they're going to change to. They can't. They don't know what to actually go do. Then they really can't change their habits by themselves. You have to help them. And then they don't recognize the fundamental nature of change. Okay, so this list of what is hindering our performance in implementing a significant change like lean into an organization is telling us that we need to do a better job of education, we need to do a better job of explaining why, we need to do a better job of our implementation process. So this is some information from a study we did a few years ago when I was working with the Lean Educator Academic Network at EdNet, and we were looking at why don't we have any North American Toyotas? Why don't we have that example here? We've been trying to do this for a long time. So over the past 5 decades, organizations through the world have attempted to implement lean to improve their process. The number of lean transformation efforts that have actually achieved and maintained the improved performance is not as great as the investment would suggest. Is that giving you a feeling that you're getting a good ROI on your investment? No, it's not, right? And reported success is often limited due to failure in enterprise to fully understand how lean works in practice. That means we're teaching tools instead of philosophy. After all, why isn't it the norm? After all the investment made by industry, why don't we have those? They reported isolated islands of success, but the undeniable fact is that utilization of training and tools to achieve enterprise performance has not worked. So just learning how to do single-minute exchange of die, just learning how to build a Kanban, just learning how to do TPM does not in itself help you implement lean. Okay? You have to put it into the philosophy. We've had a lot of people that have tried to reverse engineer Toyota's results by employing those tools, but reverse engineering doesn't work because all you're still getting is what are the technical aspects of what we're trying to do, not the strategy aspects of what we're trying to do. I'm not going to go through all of those. I put a lot of stuff in here for you to have in your notes so that you can refer back to them. But this is the important one. The imperative is that the organization moves from perception that I will work on a continuous improvement activity if I have time after I finish my work. That's where most organizations are with their employees when you're trying to implement lean. Yeah, I've got this other stuff to do, and then I'll go do that lean stuff. And we got to change that to the solving of problems is my work. That's where the difference between what Toyota does in its philosophy and having the pillars and foundation that it talks about versus implementing a bunch of tools that can help us maybe improve our processes a little bit.